welcome to Rathods Science Academy. Today in this session we are going to see current affairs of 9th and as well as 10th March 2025. So yesterday I didn't do the analysis, so I'm going to see both these 2 days articles together, and I will be also telling you like what are the points that you have to focus from interview point of view and as well as mains point of view and also prelims point of view. So please make a correct order notes. And one more thing here is, don't expect spoon feeding. Actually, spoon feeding won't work for this UPSC examination. So you might have depended on the spoon feeding in your 10th class or intermediate and even in your graduation, but this spoon feeding won't work now. So try to make your own things. But what are the ideas that is possible from my side, I will be giving you that ideas. Okay, and try to maintain a proper notes and don't regret if you are not answering that questions because of your mistake. Okay, so now let us see the first article, guys. Okay, see the title, Geo-mapping of rubber plantation to begin may help growers better price. So what are the things that you have to see? So in your geography you might have heard about this rubber and rubber plantations, and next the keyword here is geo-mapping. So I will write the keywords here. So first one is geo-mapping, and second keyword that you have to focus is rubber plantations. So from which subject you will be seeing this, guys? So geo-mapping is nothing but we are using some technology so that we can go for identifying of the areas where this rubber is grown and as well as trading of this rubber happens. So this is important from your GS paper 3 under science and technology, and even this topic is important from GS paper 3 under economy. Okay, so these are the subjects. Now let us see the dimensions what you have to see. You have to know about what is the meaning of geo-mapping. What is this geo-mapping? Because you may get a question like, geo-mapping is seen recently in news. So which of the following option correctly represents this geo-mapping? So the first kind of question you may get. And you may get this kind of question also. Consider the following statements regarding geo-mapping, and they may give like 2 to 4 statements, and they will ask which of the above statements are correct or incorrect. So from that point of view, you have to say about what is geo-mapping. And you have to see different types of this mapping, and you have to see which technology they will be using for mapping, and next you have to see what are the advantages. So here if you see this title, it is clearly saying that it will help growers to get better price. So in this title itself they said about one advantage, right? So now it is your responsibility to add about what are the advantages of this geo mapping. And next one is from economy point of view, you have to see about rubber trading in India. Okay, you have to see about rubber trading in India, and you have to see in which state so we'll get good rubber, and even you have to see about from which countries we are importing rubber, and you have to see about in which sector this rubber is used. Okay, that is from your economy point of view. And even you have to see how this geo mapping will be useful for trading purpose. So how it will be useful for improving of economic activities in India. And this rubber you will be seeing in 2 subjects. First one is GS paper 1 under geography, and even from GS paper 1 under history also you will be seeing about this rubber. So here what are the dimensions you have to see? You have to see about some facts regarding rubber, and you have to draw a map and see in which states of our country rubber is produced. And next you have to see which state is the largest producer of rubber in India. And next you have to see what are the geographical conditions responsible for the growing of rubber. Rubber will not be grown in each and every area, so it requires certain conditions. So here you have to see that, and you have to see which plant is a source of rubber, that is natural rubber. You have to see that. Okay, so these are the dimensions that you have to see. And now let us see this article clearly. And even you have to know about some facts regarding this board which is controlling the rubber in India, that is Rubber Board of India. So even you have to know about some facts regarding this Rubber Board of India as well. So add that. So this article is saying that Rubber Board of India is set to initiate geo-mapping of rubber plantations in Kerala. So in Kerala, they are going for this geo-mapping so that it will be helpful for increasing of access and as well as prices or pricing for this rubber growers. So this initiative, why they are coming up with this initiative is they will be identifying the areas where this is grown, and even they will be going for certifying of natural rubber under Indian Sustainable Rubber Framework, that is like according to European Union standards. So whenever we are going for certifying this rubber, obviously the price will be increased so that farmers will be getting good price for their rubber. So natural rubber, it is native of Amazon basin, it is not at all native of India. So it came to India during this modern period, that thing that you have to remember from modern history point of view. Okay, natural rubber is a native of Amazon basin and which was introduced in the countries in tropical belts of Asia and as well as Africa. So in late 19th century, so this rubber had been introduced in tropical belts of Asia and as well as Africa. And actually it is an equatorial crop. That means in equatorial region, that is from 5 degrees north to 5 degrees south, it is normally found. Okay, and even now we can grow that in tropical and as well as subtropical regions. And one more important thing that you have to remember is rubber cannot be grown in temperate regions. Okay. And next one here is rubber is nothing but, have you seen this papaya tree? So whenever you cut this papaya tree or whenever you are making wound to this ficus or papaya, you will be seeing the white color liquid or sap will be coming outside. So this rubber is nothing but it is a latex of the trees, and the tree name is Hevia brasiliensis. Hevia brasiliensis is the one of the common source of this rubber plant or rubber tree. And actually it is one of the raw material which is mainly used, especially in automobiles. In which part they will use rubber? Tires. Tires manufacturing will be using this rubber. And if you see what are the requirements for the growing of this plant, as I said, it will require moist and humid climate and it need more rainfall, that is 200 centimeters per year rainfall is required, and well drained loamy soil. Loamy soil is nothing but equal proportion of sand, silt. Okay, sand, silt should be in the equal proportions. And next one is temperature should be around about 25 degrees centigrade, and it will be grown in the slopes of these hills, and it should be above 300 to 400 meters above the sea level. Okay, and next one here is production distribution. So the first rubber plantations in India were established in Kerala in year 1895. That means during British era this had been introduced in our country. And India is the third largest producer and fourth largest consumer of natural rubber globally. So on this facts also you may get a question. And Kerala will be accounting for around 90% of India's rubber production. That means which state will be producing more amount of rubber? Obviously that is Kerala. Kerala is the highest producer of rubber. And other rubber producing states in India, apart from Kerala, or we have Tamil Nadu, we have Karnataka. That means only the southern belt we can see this. And this one is Andaman and Nicobar Islands. And even we can see these hilly regions in this northeast also. So Tripura and Garo Hills also, they will be producing this. And next one is some facts regarding this rubber board. So rubber board, it is a statutory body. What is the meaning of statutory body? So any body which had been established under an act. So rubber board has been established under Rubber Act of 1947. So it is a statutory body, and it will work under the control of Ministry of Commerce and Industry. So where is the head office? Head office in Kerala, because 90% of this production happens in Kerala. Okay, so what is this geo-mapping or geographic mapping? It is nothing but the process of visualizing data on maps. For example, we will be using GIS, that is Geographical Information System. And here we will be using different tools. And even we can use GPS tracking and mapping. And we can use heat maps and thematic maps and interactive web maps. And we can use remote sensing and aerial mapping. So these are some important techniques that we'll use for geo-mapping. Okay. So this is about this topic in detail. And now let us see the next. India and Ireland to set up a joint panel on economic issues. So here, whenever you are seeing any country in news, that is, it should not be in the world page. If you see any kind of articles in news page, so you have to see that topics. So here this article is talking about relationship between India, second one is Ireland. So what are the things that you have to see whenever there is any topic in news? Actually, this topic is important from your GS paper to under international relations. So you can expect both prelims and mains based question from this area. So first of all, you have to open your atlas. And I suggest you to take this Orient Black Swan, not this Oxford Atlas. So take this Orient Black Swan map and see where is Ireland located. And whenever you're seeing map, don't see only that area. Even nearby, aspas, you have to see that. So you have to see nearby boundary countries and are there any water bodies or not. Water bodies you have to see and you have to make a note of it. Okay, and from your mains point of view, what you have to see, you have to see about history of relations. So when this relation between India and that country started, and you have to see important areas of cooperation. For example, political cooperation, historical cooperation, economical cooperation, cooperation science and technology, cooperation in defense. Okay, all these areas you have to see, or cultural cooperation, or anything. So whatever it may be, you have to see areas of cooperation. And apart from that, you have to see challenges. So what are the challenges we have between these two countries? And you have to see what is a way forward. So way forward, you have to think what can be done so that we can improve relationship between these two countries. So all these things that you have to focus on. So now let us see this article. India, Ireland have taken a significant step towards strengthening their economic relationship by agreeing to establish a joint economic commission. So why it is in news? So India and Ireland, they are going to establish one joint economic commission. So economy means they want to improve trade, they want to improve economic relations, right? So here, through this establishment of joint economic commission, we want to improve our ties between India and Ireland, and we want to increase economic collaboration between India and Ireland. And actually, we want to come up with bilateral trade agreement. So in the recent 2 to 3 days ago, we discussed about this bilateral trade agreement. So what is this? What are the advantages? Everything. So here, because of this signing of bilateral trade agreement, obviously what happened? We can increase the trade, we can increase exports and imports, and we can improve employment opportunities, we can improve economic growth. So like that, we have lots of advantages. Even investments can be increased, right? So here we want to come up with this bilateral trade agreement so that we can increase trade, we can increase investment flows. Okay, so that is a one expectation. And next one here is, even in this discussions, they also talked about improving of collaboration even in education system. So especially we want to expand our collaboration higher education. That means we are also focusing on exchanging of education between the countries, like educational programs and research initiatives. Okay, so that both nations, they can cultivate skilled workforce. And actually, what are the skills this Ireland people required? So we can impart that skills in our Indian youth, so that we can send our Indian youth who got skills which are required for the island to Ireland, so that we can also improve employment in other countries. Okay, we can supply human capital for other countries. Okay, so that in return, what we can expect? We can expect the remittances. This remittances will be very important for improving of foreign exchange reserves. And we're also focusing on improving of emerging technologies. For example, AI, fintech, semiconductors that we can get, so that what India can improve its presence in this European Union. And this one here is if you are talking about what is advantage with this, Ireland is one of the major semiconductor companies are present here. So as of now, we are depending on China. That means to diversify our supply chains, we can now shift towards Ireland so that we can get our semiconductors from that country so that we can reduce our dependence on China. Okay, so these are the things that you have to remember. And now let us see the next article. See here, India most likely undercounting heat related deaths. So actually who said this? Soumya Swaminathan. So actually Soumya Swaminathan is a former WHO chief scientist. Okay, so whenever any personality who is from an international organization is very important. So what are the statements you are making? It is very important. So here this article is saying that yes, India is not counting the deaths which are caused because of heat. So whenever there is increasing of heat, what happens? There is dehydration. So because of dehydration, what happens? You will be having giddiness. And have you observed sunstroke will happen in normally in summer times? So whenever the sunstroke happens, what happens? Extreme dehydration in the body, and even your urine will be getting burned and concentrated urine, and sometimes you will not able to pass the urine. So because of the sunstroke also the death happens. So this article is saying that yes, there is lack of data collection in India. Because of lack of data collection, so there is no reporting of heat related deaths are happening. So from which topic you can see this? So in GS paper 2, we have a subtopic called as health, and we are going to have the summer. Now we are in month of March. In April, May, we will be having extreme heat. So this problem will be going to exacerbated or not. So if you are getting this kind of reports before the season starts, then it will be like giving hint. Yes, this is going to happen. So be aware and take some preventive steps. So it is like giving a hint for the government of India to take related steps to control this heat related deaths. So now what can government do? So here this article is saying that yes, there are undercounting, that means data is properly not stored. That means government can increase effective database now, and not only increasing of database and reporting, government need to take some measures. So which kind of measures we can take to decrease this heat related deaths? So we have to provide free drinking water at several places, and government need to give alerts to the people regarding how much heat will be there during which time. So which time is safe to go outside and which time is not safe. Normally peak temperature will be seen at what time? Is it 12? No. After 1, after 2, at least for 1 to 2 hours we'll be having extreme temperature, extreme heat will be there. At that time government should give some alerts to the people not to go out this time. And next step, government can increase areas with shade, like providing some temporary tents, and even in this bus stops also government need to provide some shaded area so that people will be waiting in shade areas. And not only that, government can provide some first aid at different locations. Okay. Yeah, so these are the things that can be taken as some preventive measures. So now let us see what this article is clearly saying. So if you see the context, it is saying that India is likely to under-reporting heat-related deaths because of inadequate data tracking. So this had been indicated by former WHO chief scientist Soumya Swaminathan. Okay, now let us see here the reasons. The first important reason here is we don't have a mechanism, proper mechanism for recording deaths. Okay, that too actually related to heat related deaths. So because of this, we don't have a proper reliable database to give the data regarding how many people they had been died because of this heat. That is the first important reason which mainly said. And next one here is, now we know that climate change is happening and there is further more increasing of global warming. Why there is increasing of global warming? We are releasing more carbon dioxide emissions, vehicular pollution, Okay, all these things, man-made reasons are there, natural reasons are there. So because of this increasing of global warming. So because of this global warming, that will leads to increasing of extreme weather events that will have more cost on the health. So here because of this increasing of climate change, even heat waves can increase. That will lead to heat exhaustion, that is nothing but extreme dehydration, and as well as heat stroke. So we have to focus on those areas. And this one is we have to use technology for solutions. Like we have lots of technology now. We can use AI, we can use machine learning. So by using that technology, by using different software, so we can go for proper data collection, and we have to go for proper analysis of data so that we can understand whether heat related mortality is happening or not, in which areas, in which states this heat related deaths are more. So what are the reasons? That means what are the inbuilt socio-economic conditions of the people which is related to this heat related death. That means which category of people are getting these deaths. We will be getting some data, and if you are getting some data, so government will be taking some effective measures to control that. If you are not having data, how can the government will provide the policies which are targeting these people? And next one is urban planning. So whenever we are going for urban planning and expansion of urban areas, we have to always keep in this mind providing of some spaces. Why? Because urban areas there is increasing of concretization, increasing of buildings, that is leading to increasing of heat more. So whenever there is increasing of heat, we have to take some measures to decreasing of heat. That means we have to go for plantations. Especially we have urban afforestation methods called as Miyawaki. We can follow that. And even in urban areas, we have to improve the green spaces like public parks, etc., so that people will be having access. And this one here is healthcare system preparedness. So we are going to have this uh, peak summer soon, so that our healthcare should also be ready with that. So healthcare professionals, they have to recognize this heat related illnesses, and as well as they have to develop some response protocols, and we have to equip the healthcare facilities, and we have to manage more cases. And this one is community engagement and awareness. Even government need to educate people about this heat stroke, so about temperature, about what are the preventive measures they can take. So do you know, whenever you are coming from outside, as soon as you are coming from sun or like heat, you should not take cool water. But in urban areas, as soon as they are coming into home, so here they will be asking for cool water which is from fridge. It is very dangerous. So like that, government should provide some do's and don'ts during this heat stroke, sunstroke, etc., so that people will be getting awareness. So government should provide some ads in TVs or in radios, etc., so that they will be aware of that. Okay, now let us see the next article. Title says PM Modi to travel to Mauritius on 2-day visit. So from here we are going to see today's article. So here again one more international relations. So this article is about India Mauritius. So this article is about India Mauritius. So this article is important from your GS paper to under international relations. So Mauritius, it is one island nation which is present in Indian Ocean. So actually, India and Mauritius, they had lots of historical connection. And tomorrow and after tomorrow, that is 11th and 12th, our Prime Minister, he is visiting this Mauritius. So because of this is in news. And this time, which also is like Mauritius is celebrating its Independence Day. That means India is also attending as a guest. Okay, so because of this is very important. And here the first step you have to do is you have to see map of this Mauritius in your atlas and see the location and mark it. And here you have to see areas of cooperation, and you have to see what are the challenges and what is the way forward. That's it. So in international relation, you have to make this notes, then your work is done. It's very simple. Okay, now let us see the context. Okay. Yeah, it is tax haven country. So I will be telling about this at last. Yeah. In yesterday's paper, it got just thing. And now in today's paper, there is one editorial. Yeah, see here, editorial. So actually, our Prime Minister is visiting this Mauritius on 11th and 12th. That means we can understand that we are having deep rooted ties between India and Mauritius. Okay, and this time which also coincides with Independence Day celebrations of Mauritius. Okay, actually why this is important, because this marks Modi's first visit to this country since 2015, and we are going to have talks so that we can improve our diplomatic relations with this newly elected Prime Minister. So if you see some details, it says that yes, this meet which has geopolitical significance. So here there is a shifting of geopolitical dynamics, and as well as there is also improving of close ties between India and Mauritius is happening. Especially whenever our Prime Minister is going to visit for another country, for what? So this is a signal of improving of relation between India and that country. And especially why this Mauritius is important, because it is present in Indian Ocean. That means India is playing a very important role in improving security in this Indian Ocean region, right? Indo-Pacific region. So for this, the help of Mauritius is very, very important for maintaining safety and security in this Mauritius. And this one here is, yes, actually we have to maintain even political relations also India and Mauritius, so that we can mature whatever the diplomatic relations that we have. And this one here is Mauritius, which is having diverse groups. For example, we have ethnic groups, and we have different fabric. So that if you are having good relations, obviously it will be helpful for improving of diplomatic relations, and as well as we can focus on even inclusivity in this diversity. And even we are having good economic collaboration between these two countries. Like there is also the growth of bilateral trade. So trade between India and Mauritius is around $554 million as per 2023 data. And we are also focusing on improving a favorable business environment. So, but the important challenge is Mauritius is an island nation, and because of climate change, there is increasing of sea level. So this country, it is very much vulnerable because of increasing of sea level. So this country is asking especially for joint initiatives so that we can address climate change. And not only that, to improve security and safety in this Indo-Pacific region, so they are going for joint initiatives like establishing of radar stations and as well as surveillance facilities, so that they will ensure maritime safety and as well as security in this region. So this is the thing that you have to remember. And if you go back, yeah, this is the first article. Yeah, see here. Oh, one more article is there. Yeah, this is Mauritius. IPCC begins work on new series of climate reports to build on earlier assessment. So in our target prelims 2025, I gave a question regarding IPCC. So actually for every 6 to 7 years, IPCC will be releasing report. So recent report is, the last report which had been released was IPCC's 6th assessment report. And now this article is saying that they are going to work to provide IPCC's 7th assessment report. And this article is very important from your environment and ecology. Okay, IPCC is nothing but Intergovernment Panel on Climate Change. So this panel will be assessing what changes are happening in our climate. So because of this climate change, what are the vulnerable things which are happening? So everything they are going to see, and they will be saying about what are the challenges we are facing, everything, and they are going to begin work for 7th IPCC report. Because of this is the news, and let us see what is this IPCC. IPCC releases comprehensive assessment report regarding climate change, and these reports they will be having a working group assessment. They will focus on physical science, climate adaptation, mitigation action, and finally they will give a detailed report on what are the findings they had made. And IPCC, it is an international body, and it was set up in 1988 by WMO, that is World Meteorological Organization, and UNEP. It is very, very important. It will be a prelim statement for sure. And what this will do, so this will provide a policy with regular assessment of the on the scientific basis of climate change, and it will be focusing on what will be the impact and what will be the future risks and what are the options which are present for you for adaptation as well as mitigation. And this report will provide a scientific basis for governments regarding which kind of climate resilient measures they can take based on this report. Okay. Yeah, so recent sixth assessment report was given in year 2023. That is report sixth. So till now we have 6 reports. So it had been given first report in 1990. On this also you may get question. 1990 is the first report and recent report is 2023, and we are going to get this 7th assessment report, that is AR7. And now let us see the next article. 100-day TB elimination campaign far from achieving main objective. So this article is talking about TB elimination in India. So actually many a times, you know about this TB will be there in news. TB is nothing but tuberculosis. It is one of the infectious diseases caused by bacteria, and the disease caused by Mycobacterium tuberculosis. Okay, so this is a bacteria, that is rod shaped bacteria, which causes this TB. And if you get in this TB, so you have to take very long, lengthy and long treatment of antibiotics for 1 year to 1.5 years. And recently we came up with one advancement in this TB medication, that is BPAL, okay, tri-drug regimen. Okay, so there is a very high chance of getting question regarding this BPAL or TB news. Okay, I don't know how you will cover that. Okay, now if you see here, this article is saying that over 10 crore individuals in India, they had been screened with having this TB. And the important aim of this TB campaign is to diagnose TB who show TB symptoms, and not only that, but even they want to identify asymptomatic TB case. That means TB bacteria will be there in your body, but you will be not getting the symptoms. So under this campaign, recent campaign, that is 100-day intensified TB elimination campaign, it had been launched on December 7th. Okay, so that campaign is focusing on identifying of non-symptomatic TB. And for early detection of TB cases, this campaign uses new strategy. So now they are using chest X-ray. Do you know this X-ray? So if you go to any lab, that is diagnostic center, so if you ask for X-ray, so they will keep one film beyond you, and they will be sending X-ray rays, and this X-ray rays will be giving your lungs and as well as bones, everything, the data will be given. So they will be using this chest X-rays, and they are also using portable X-ray machines. Portable means nothing but they can be easily carried from one place to another place. So they are using this portable X-ray machines. And over 3.8 lakh, over 10 crore individuals had been screened using X-rays from as of February 2022. That is just 3.8%. So the target here is they have to collect 10 crores individuals data, but as of now, they started on December 7th. As of February 22nd, just 3.8 lakhs people had been identified. That means only 3.8 people had been screened. So if you have to screen this 10 crore people, it will not complete by 100 days. So this is the thing which mainly said here. Okay, so just to see what is this TB and what is this TB treatment, and what are the new regimen, that is BPAL regimen for this TB, and what are the advantages of this BPAL over this traditional medicine. Okay, so that is the thing. And next one here is Madhav National Park becomes India's 58th tiger reserve. It is very, very important. So this article is talking about one important thing, that is tiger reserve. So as of 2025 March, so how many tiger reserves are there in India? 58 tiger reserves. Okay, so this topic is important from which subject? Environment and ecology, from GS paper 3. So here you have to know what is this tiger reserve means, and what is the criteria of announcing any area as a tiger reserve. And you have to see who will decide this tiger reserve is not. You will be certifying this tiger reserve. And you have to know about what is this project tiger. And you have to take a map and you have to locate where are these 58 tiger reserves are there in India, and in which state of India is having more number of tiger reserve, and which is the first tiger reserve to be announced in India. So all these things that you have to see from your examination point of view. And you have to see Some important facts regarding this Madhav National Park. So you may get a question like, consider the following statements regarding tiger reserve, and they will give 2 to 3 statements. And this one is, recently Madhav National Park is in news. In which state it is located, or why it is in news. So in this way, 3 kinds of questions which will come in your films. You have to focus on this. So first one is center declared Madhav National Park in Madhya Pradesh as 58th tiger reserve in our country. So if you see some facts regarding tiger reserve, it was set up as a part of Project Tiger and this had been initiated in year 1973, and this is administered by NTCA, that is National Tiger Conservation Authority. And as of December 2024, there are 57, but in 2025, that is 58, it had been added. And in India, how many tigers are there? 3,682 tigers are there in India. And almost 75% of world's tiger population is present in India. So because of that, this Project Tiger is one of the most successful program of a government. And this tiger reserve consists of what? Core area. Core area means the area which is donated or which is dedicated for the protection of this tiger itself. So in that core area, we will be having national park or a wildlife sanctuary. And after this core area, if you see, this is a core area where you have national park or wildlife sanctuary. Around this, we will be having a buffer zone. So in this buffer zone, we will be having forest land or non-forest land will be there. So this is the structure of a tiger reserve. And next one is, what is the goal of this Project Tiger? So Project Tiger is aimed at performing the necessary activities. So which kind of activities they'll do? They'll ensure viability of tiger population in core area, and they'll also try to balance between the existence of people and as well as animals in the buffer zone. And this one is Madhav National Park. So where it is located? In Madhya Pradesh. In which district? Shivpuri district of Madhya Pradesh. Okay, and in the highlands are located. So they are the part of central highlands. So in geography, especially in this geographical thing, like you will be studying about India's important geographical location. There you will be studying about Himalayas, mountains, plateaus, hills, etc. So Central Highlands is also an important area that you will be studying under Plateau region. So this national park is located in the Central Highlands. And if you see the history, the park was the hunting ground of Mughal emperors and Maharaja of Gwalior. So because of this region, so in this area we can see like less number of tigers, so that they declared this as this thing. And next one is, this park was established as Madhya Pradesh Bharat National Park in 1955, and it got this present name in 1959. Okay, that's it. See something here. And next one here is rupees 50,000 for girl, cow for boy. TDP MPs promised gifts for women on the birth of third child. So actually many southern states, they are having this problem of decreasing of TFR, that is total fertility rate. And even Tamil Nadu is also fighting that we don't want delimitation, we are getting disadvantaged because of decreased population, and we are taking lot of measures for population control, and we are getting disincentivized because of that steps. So now you can see how this AP government is focusing to improve TFR. So they are saying that if they are going to give the birth for the third child, if the child is girl, they're going for giving of fixed deposit of 50,000 rupees, and by the age of marriage at 21, so this amount will be around 10 lakhs. And if this third child who is boy, means immediately they will be getting one cow and a calf. Okay, so in this way government is taking, that state governments are taking some steps for improving of TFR. So whenever you are writing any answer about this TFR and improvement of TFR in southern states, you can use this article as an example. I am also thinking that why discrimination. Okay, see here. Another article. ED facilitates for every month. If they give 50,000 rupees, how can they give? So they will give just fixed deposit. Fixed deposit of 50,000, and at the age of 21 of that girl, that is a marriage age, that fixed deposit will be getting, if you're going for withdrawal of the money, so you will be getting 10 lakhs rupees. at the marriage time. At the marriage time, they will be getting some help. Next article is ED facilitates restitution of rupees 13.58 crores assets to money laundering victims. So here there are two important keywords. You have to see money laundering. Money laundering means nothing but whatever the money you are getting by illegal activities. That is nothing but black money. So you are converting it into white. That is called as money laundering. So actually, so here ED is taking lot of steps to control money laundering in India. So in economy, you will be studying about what is money laundering and how many ways is money laundering happening in India. And you will be seeing about which organizations which are present in our country control this money laundering. So you have to remember one important organization at the central level controls this money laundering is ED. And apart from that, you have to see what are the acts which are came up by the government. For example, we have Prevention of Money Laundering Act. So you have to see what are the roles and responsibilities in that. So what are the provisions of that? So like that you can see that. You can make a notes. And next article is, yeah, very important. Indian team makes doubly secure ink to thwart counterfeiting. So you know this counterfeiting of currency, that is nothing but fake currency. Yes, fake currency is an important problem that we are facing in our Indian economy, right? So lot of steps government is taking to control this fake currency, that is nothing but donga notlu. Okay, for example, a government is changing notes, changing color and changing of some important things, but even though this problem is unavoidable, so government is coming up with new security. So here you have to see about who is responsible for printing of notes in India. And if you see money in India, we have coins and we have notes. So government of India will be going for minting of coins. Minting of coins and printing of 1 rupee notes is done by government of India, and other currency notes will be printed by RBI. It is responsibility of RBI. So now this article is saying that scientists from INST Mohali and Barak Mumbai, they made ink. Write down somewhere. They made ink which is using strontium bismuth fluoride nanoparticles. Strontium bismuth fluoride nanoparticles. Okay, so why they use nanoparticles here is if they are scanning under a machine, then only it can be identified. So for example, if there is everything appear on to our naked eye, what happens? It is easy to make this counterfeiting, right? If something we can identify only through machines, can we do counterfeiting? No. So that is the one advancement we are going to have now by using this bismuth fluoride nanoparticles. So here, this if you see this gist, it is saying that security printing can incorporate some features that only machines can detect. Only machine they will be detecting some changes. Some passports, for example, in some passports they will be having a chip that only a scanner can read. Like that, we have some examples like invisible barcodes and even digital watermarks and holograms will be there. So they can be identified only by certain machines. So in the same way, in our technology of printing of this notes also, we can use certain nanoparticles. So these nanoparticles, they will interact differently with light and magnetic fields, and they are chemically more reactive. So here we can use some semiconductor nanoparticles while printing this notes. So researchers mainly says that they came up with a new compound which is made up of this nano thing, that is nothing but this strontium bismuth fluoride nanoparticles, and they said that yes, we can use them at certain room temperature. The behavior will be very different, and whenever we are using machines, then only we can identify whether it is original note or fake note. So in this way we are going to use some technology. So where you can use this article. So whenever you are writing any essay or any answer regarding how science and technology will be useful for development, you can add this article. So we are using this kind of nanoparticles for countering of this counterfeiting currency. So we can use nanoparticle technology. Like that you can give an example. And next article I said about this India Mauritius, right? So these are the important topics that appeared in our today's and next today's current affairs. So I hope you enjoyed this class, and we are going to start this new batch for Brilliance Come Mains Foundation, Rathods Science Academy. If you want to take the coaching, selecting a right institute is also very important. So we are providing very quality education, that too at a very affordable price. So you can select us and you can take online or offline coaching from us, and you can enjoy this process of learning. And you can learn a lot. And what is required for exam, that will be only taught here. We are not going to waste a single minute of your time also. So try to join, and if you have any queries, you can call us on this number 8074765513, and even you can text on this number. And if you want to meet me directly and if you want to talk to me directly, you can visit our institute, which is above Vikas Book Center, second and third floor, and opposite Sub Registrar Office, Ashok Nagar. Thank you so much, guys, and please do like this class and share this class, and don't forget to subscribe to Rathods IAS Academy.